Hello and welcome. So why do we need to use SQL? Why? और क्यों करूं SQL use? भैया क्यों? Well, mainly to answer business questions. For an example, let's say in Apple Store, business users or the higher management wants to know how much sales we did for AirPods last month. They can choose a city or a state or a country, or they want to know how many returns we got last year. Now you may ask, but why SQL, right? Why can't they just look at Excel? Why can't they just look at some data in the file? Well, Excel is pretty good for simple to medium complex use cases. Let's say you have a billion record worksheet, then you have another billion record worksheet. You're joining, you're getting data, you're cleaning. It is impossible in Excel. Also in Excel, there is no central system to maintain consistency of records, right? Let's say, for example, Apple Store. They have hundreds of offices across the world, right? If people start updating data in an Excel, they will only see it. It won't right away reflect to other users. The most latest and the greatest data, they won't be able to see it. So that's another reason why Excel can be used. And that's where, SQL or the databases fits right into. Mainly use cases of SQL are these two, hands-on or manual way, where people like you and I will write SQLs because we want to get answers. The other is programmatic or automated way. We embed SQL in different softwares like Python, R, Java or ETL code, and that runs on automated or scheduled basis or sometimes on demand basis. So somewhat technical people, write SQL to get answers like, do we have order data for yesterday? Does this data make sense? How many hospitals claims we had in last year? Many times we do debugging, looking at the data in tables and telling that, hey, this is not right or this is right. What happened? Right? So once we get these answers, then we also figure out what problems we are having with the data. So for the second programmatic or automated use case, there are examples like a company sends invoice data to a vendor company so that they can receive payments. Sometimes you fetch that data using SQL. Banks sending data to governments to meet regulatory requirements, to avoid fraud and abuse, and just to do checks and balances. For that, the way you get that data is by using SQL many times. Programmers write code to generate key business reports, which helps to improve sales and customer service, right? For example, like how much sales we had last year in New York versus in Boston, right? And then they can go and figure out, okay, why in New York, where in Boston, what product. They can slice and dice this data in many different ways, and then they can come up with better services for their customers and hence improving sales. And here are some examples where people have written SQL code. This is a Python code, and you can see some SQL here. Select star from customers. And here is another example where SQL is written in PySpark Databricks code. Here is one more example with data science related code in R. So I hope this video helps. Thank you. Namaste. I will see you in my next video where I will be covering what is SQL and how do we set it up. All right. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye now. And by the way, here is a quick peek to SQL queries. Here are 3 examples of SQL queries. Don't worry, we will learn all of that and many more in my future videos. But just to quickly show you how simple it is to write a SQL query.